Hey, what's up guys? Houston here. Now, let me ask you, are you struggling to get out of debt, or are you struggling with the Dave Ramsey 7 baby steps? Now, the reason that I'm asking this, because people said that in the black community, it does not work, okay? And I want to address that, and I'm going to show you how, when it comes to finances, it works for anyone. Now, here's the key. Here's the key that nobody tells you about the 7 baby steps that most people miss. The main key to the 7 baby steps is having a goal. Setting a goal, whether you want to get out of debt, whether you're trying to position yourself to buy you a brand new car cash, whether you're trying to buy you a house, any aspect, or you trying to transition from a job but you don't want to have any debt when you transition from the job. If you don't have that goal, I don't care what color you are, it's not going to work for you. All right, you have to have a goal in mind. Once you have a goal in mind, now these 7 baby steps can get your attention. And I'm going to actually show you how to ramp this up to where you're able to get out of debt much sooner than what some of these people are doing with these 7 baby steps. All right. Now, here's the first thing I want you all to understand. The 7 baby steps, he tells you, save $1,000, start an emergency fund. Now, they say in the black communities or in many communities, people can't save $1,000. Well, here's the truth about it. If you're working a job, you can. All right? And I'm going to show you how. If you're working a W-2 job, what you can do is go to your HR and you can request that they file you exempt for 3 to 4 months. This is going to give you an extra boost in income. Now, whether you're going to use that extra income to help pay down some debt, or you're going to use that income to set up an emergency fund, but you will be able to do that. All right. Now, what happens on the opposite end of that, once that 3 to 4 months, you go back and say you want to readjust your taxes or whatever. So when you file your taxes, you may get a lower payment on your tax refund, but at the same time, now you either have paid off some debt or you have an emergency fund. When people say, I can't save $1,000, that's not true. And guess what? You didn't have to go get a second job. You didn't even have to eat beans and rice. Is that not correct? Now, this video is going to get good, and I appreciate for those that really enjoy this to please give me a like and share this, because I'm finna hook you guys up. Now, step number 2, pay off all debts except the house using the debt snowball. Well, guess what? If you don't have a house, you're paying rent, right? And I'm gonna actually show you exactly what debts that matter the most when it comes to paying, that you must pay, and then separating those other debts. All right, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Number 3 is save 3 to 6 months of expense in a fully funded emergency fund. You cannot go to step 3 until you do step 2. So don't even worry about step 3. Step 4, invest 15% of your household income to retirement. Again, you have to complete step 2 in order to go to step 3, in order to go to step 4. Then the next one is save for your children's college education, college fund. Again, you have to complete step 2 before you even get to step 5. All right? So don't worry about anything else. Pay off your home. Again, like I said, setting a goal. If you're trying to pay off your home, we got a strategy that's going to expedite this. So just hold on one moment. Step 7, build wealth and give. All right? But the one thing that you have to understand is, one, you have to have a goal and stay committed as accountable. That's the reason when they said the 7 baby steps, I would actually call it the 7 accountable steps. So you can start holding yourself as an adult accountable to make sure that you're going to get through these here 7 steps. All right. Now, let's go back to step number 2, paying off all debts. Let's look at this. The overall household expenses, right? Your total income is $2,400. You have rent of $800, electricity. You have all of these here bills. It rounds up to $2,110. These are your household bills. Then the remaining, what is that? $290. That's the money that would be allocated towards your other expenses if possible. Now, here's the challenge. Those other expenses are your debts, your credit cards and student loans and things of that nature, right? Now, here's where things get interesting, all right? So you have, for this example, is $4,000 in debt, all right? And the debts are set up from smallest to largest, from smallest to largest. And so what's happening, you continue making the minimum payments. That's why this 25 is here. You're making the minimum payments on debts 2 through 5. Debt number 1, you're paying as much money as you can on that debt till you pay it off. Now, here's why. The reason why you want to do this is because it's a psychological effect. You remember how you do a task and you look at it as a task, and you complete that task, you feel good about yourself, right? And that's how you have to look at this objectively. This is only a task. You created these debts. You want to pay off these debts because you don't want to have bad credit. You want to have good credit again. You want to put yourself in a better position so that you're able to help someone else down the line. You may want to help a kid, your loved one, or somebody you're trying to help, but you cannot help them until you help yourself. Now again, if this video is helpful, give me a thumbs up because we're finna go further into this. So those are your debts, right? Now, what if there was a way for you to pay off all of these debts with one payment and still having access to money in case of other emergencies? Is that possible? Houston, absolutely. And I'm going to show you how. This company here, this financial here, is BCU, Baxter Credit Union. Okay? And what Baxter Credit Union does, they offer loans and lines of credit. Okay? Now, here's the interesting thing about this here credit union, why I like them. Because they actually use Advantage TransUnion 3 score. Okay? Now, why is that important? Here's the interesting thing about this. As you start to pay down your debts, your credit score goes up. However, you have a Vantage score and you have a FICO score. Now, the reason your Vantage score may be more leveraging than your FICO score is because you can take your Vantage score. By you doing those rent payments, that's a trade line. By you making those utility payments on time, that's a trade line. Okay? By you paying those subscriptions, that's a trade line. So you paying those regular household bills that we talked about, by you paying all of these household bills, all right? These main household bills, not the savings, but these other ones, by you actually paying those bills, those are actually trade lines that can go on your credit file to help build up your credit score, all right? Now, going back to BCU, they have the personal loans and they have the lines of credit. What you want is the line of credit. You don't want a loan, okay? You want the line of credit, and I'm going to tell you how to actually join them as well. The reason you don't want the loan, although the loan has interest rates much cheaper, is because if you take that loan and you pay off that $4,000 in debt, if you take that loan and pay off that $4,000 in debt and you pay the loan back, you don't have access to any more money, right? But the good thing about it, all your debts are paid off, but you don't have access to any more money. However, if you get the line of credit, okay, and then even though the interest rates are much higher, and I'm going to catch you right here because you're like, well, why you get more debt? Listen, because I'm going to show you the game. If you take that line of credit and you go back over here and you pay off this $4,000, okay, in debt, all in one swoop, you'll only have one payment, right? But here's the interesting. Once you pay off that line of credit, you still have access to that money in case you need it in an emergency. So that's the reason the line of credit is better than a loan, because you don't have to reapply. Plus your credit score is going up. This is the reason why I tell you guys, it's a lot of people out there that are wonderful people, and they are definitely doing their thing with helping you. But sometimes there may be somebody else out there that can help you go a little step further to position you to help you acquire your goals. Now, again, using that line of credit to pay down this debt all at once, these bills go away like that, your credit score jumps up, right? Now, I know Dave Ramsey says don't worry about a credit score and stuff. Once you pay off all your credit cards and stuff, cut them up, don't ever use them. In retrospect, for many people that live from paycheck to paycheck, you're actually hurting them. Because, again, many people, because their expenses are continuing to go up and the income is not going up. So yes, they can go get another job, but you have to understand, if they go get another job, then now they're away from their family. So you don't know how timid the family is in terms of what it is that may just trigger to where it breaks open the household, breaks up the household. So a man that's already working 60, 70 hours a week, and you tell him to go get a second job, and his family and his kids are not there, he's not giving them that time because he's trying to pay the bills, guess what? Sooner or later, something down the pipeline is going to break, and he's going to end up losing that family. Now, some people may want to argue with me on this, but I'm telling you, in terms of sometimes it may not be best to close out those credit cards you got in debt. It may be best just to, once you have them paid off, just have that discipline to say, well, I'm not going to use the credit cards. I'm going to use this line of credit to take care of our household, and apply your paycheck toward that line of credit and pay all your bills that way. That disciplines you much easier because you feel that you still have money and you're still paying your bills. That's the reason I tell people you have to go a little step further and dig a little deeper. Now, going back to BCU, how do you even join BCU? And this is a non-geo, meaning they're not geo-restricted. So in reference to joining them, anybody can join. And the way that you would join BCU, you would join them through the employment, community charter, family, or Life Money U organization. The Life Money U organization costs $5, but they will waive that $5, okay? And once you join there, you can join BCU, all right? Now remember, like I said, BCU is a Vantage score, which is better for many people that have a low credit score than using their FICO score. Because when you go to Credit Karma, they're giving you a Vantage score. So when you apply for a credit card, say with Chase, Bank of America, American Express, and you deny, it's because those institutions, they use a FICO score. So you need to find institutions that use a Vantage score if you have a higher Vantage score. All right, so that's the reason I'm showing it. Now, there's one other institution that you definitely can take a look at, and that's Veridian Credit Union. Okay, so with Veridian Credit Union, they are a TransUnion as well. Okay, As a matter of fact, they tell you when we're looking, make sure you unfreeze your TransUnion credit report. Okay, so the reason is because they are Advantage 3, and again, it's non-geo restricted, so anybody can join. Now, the way you join them is through the Habitat of Humanity. Jimmy Carter, which the president's wife that just recently died, they had started the Habitat of Humanity that builds homes and stuff. Now you can join that program, and then you're able to join Veridian, excuse me. Now, for those of you that may have questions about how to go further to get out of debt, how to remove negative items off of the credit report, how to build business credit or personal credit funding, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.